I recently came upon the book F the Fairy Tale, Rewrite the Dating Myths and Live Your Own Love Story by Damona Hoffman. Dating and love story had me thinking about romance novels and how to apply Hoffman's words to fiction writing. In this video, we are going to discuss ways to make your writing real, relatable, and believable to your readers, and that's by using the 4 pillars of love mentioned in this book. If you're curious to know what those are, then stay tuned. My name is Lisa Shimkus, and I am a mom of 2 who went from teaching to lifing. I enjoy writing, reading, crafting, and learning. My channel is here to help you learn and grow through the use of books and writing, and to help you make your writing dreams come true. Before we get to the pillars, or what we should be looking for in a relationship, let's first discuss the myths of love. In her book, Hoffman discusses 4 myths that we all believe when it comes to looking for love. These are the list, the rules, the chemistry, and the soulmate. Each myth can be busted or have a downside, so you'll want them to be goals that your characters can avoid. The list. The list is when you have a set of desired qualities and keep a scorecard for each date. There was an episode on the Steve Harvey show several years ago where this was an example. The guest on the show had a list of qualities that she did or did not want in a potential partner, such as can't own a cat, must be 5'10" or taller, must never wear sweatpants. The downside to a list is that you lose the opportunity to get to know a great person just because they have flaws. We all have flaws. The rules. The rules is where dating is seen as a game to be won and conquered. There is a rule or guidebook to find Mr. or Mrs. Right. The downside to this is that it only exists in a fantasy world. There's no flexibility, and the progression of getting to know one another is actually not allowed because it's not part of the rules. The chemistry. The chemistry is the belief that you must feel an immediate spark with the other person in order for them to be your one. Personally, I dated a boy with this mindset. He admitted that he was waiting to feel the spark with someone one day. Not me, obviously. But he kept dating me or else be bored, and I kept seeing him to try to prove to him that there was no such thing as a spark. Long story short, we only lasted 2 years, and that was due to school. The downside to this myth, you will never settle down because there is no such thing as sparks. The soulmate. The soulmate is where you believe that there is one perfect person for you, and once you find that person, you'll live happily ever after. In my opinion, the downside to this myth is, even if you do find your so-called soulmate, if you don't keep working at the relationship, it falls apart. Happily ever after doesn't end at the wedding, it actually begins. Now that we know what the myths of love are, let's look at the 4 pillars of love. Pillars, as the name suggests, is what you want to strive for as they hold up and strengthen the relationship. As you write your novel, you'll want the characters in your book to find a potential partner based on the 4 pillars of love. 1. Goals. Goals are a shared vision of the future. The relationship between 2 people is actually stronger when they have the same shared goals. For instance, both want to get married and start a family. They want to travel the world. They want to move out of state or abroad. They want to complete a higher education or climb the ladder in their career fields, and so forth. Having goals means both parties have something to look forward to in life. Neither is sitting around doing the same thing every day, bored, and wondering why they are not the top boss at their work or why their unfinished manuscript is not on the shelves or in the hands of readers. Or, if one person has goals and the other doesn't, the relationship naturally has a power imbalance as one person is pursuing life and the other isn't. The overall plus side to goal orientation is resilience. Resiliency, or grit, is what is going to get your character to go from the beginning of the book through the hurdles in the middle, through the tough climatic piece that they need to go through, all the way through to the end. 2. Values. Values are a similar and compatible outlook on the world and life. The author says, The best way to build love and empathy for those who are different from us is by actually spending time together and seeing inside their world. This means in order for two people to know if they have the same values, they must interact with each other. Having shared values makes couples more compatible in the long run. For example, both parties value respect and honesty. They value a monogamous relationship and open communication. They value putting family above all others, and so on. Giving the characters in your novel shared values allows them to start forming a bond. They also know instinctively that the other person is meant for them romantically. 3. Communication. Communication is the ability to share and exchange information clearly and resolve conflicts. This means taking turns to talk, actively listening to the other person, texting or writing to one another respectfully, being able to read and understand each other's body language, and so on. This also means that when times are tough, both parties can come together to resolve issues, apologize, and take accountability for their own actions and repair the relationship. Personally, communication is one of the hardest things to do in a relationship. Some of us may not have had good communication modeled to us. Therefore, we may expect our partners to read our minds. We may not exchange crucial information with them because we think somebody else will tell them. We may even forget to exchange the information. And when times are tough, we may storm out of the room and wait for time to heal the relationship, and nothing gets resolved. Giving your characters the ability to communicate gives your readers hope and reassurance. Your readers get to experience a relationship that falters but steers itself right back in the right direction. They learn that any good relationship can weather the storms. 4. Trust. Trust is the feeling of safety and mutual respect. This means one person can rely on the other. They also know that their partner will not take advantage of them or mistreat them in any way, shape, or form. Trust is also tough in a relationship. As much as we say trust is gained, some of us trust right away, myself included, and that's because we've committed ourselves to this relationship. We think a relationship should have trust, so let me trust the other person. However, depending on the words and actions of the other person, trust either remains or it dissipates. A lack of trust creates problems in the relationship, whereas trust creates a stronger bond. We trust through matching words and actions, consistency, active listening, the willingness to work on the relationship, taking accountability for our own faults and actions, etc. When it comes to the characters in your novel, you want them to gradually build trust with one another. And no, they may not trust right away due to their own flaws and backstory, but you want them to eventually get to that point where they can trust the other person. Because again, trust keeps a relationship strong and intact. In conclusion, I recently read Damona Hoffman's book, F the Fairy Tale. Hoffman's writing had me thinking about love and romance and how we can apply her words to writing fiction, specifically when we are writing a romance novel or two. To make your writing real, relatable, and believable, use the 4 pillars of love from this book. The pillars are goals, values, communication, and trust. Including these pillars into your writing will make your characters have a stronger bond, which is what your readers look forward to when they pick up your book. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's all I have for today. If you're looking for more tips and tricks on writing romance novels, I highly suggest that you watch this video here. And as always, have fun writing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hello, my lovelies. Today we are going to discuss how to structure a novel. If you are curious about how to write your novel this year, then stay tuned. My name is Lisa Shimkus, and I am a mom of 2 who went from teaching to lifing. I enjoy writing, reading, crafting, and learning. My channel is here to help you learn and grow through the use of books and writing, and to help you make your writing dreams come true. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to A Writer's Corner. As you can see, new year, new space. Or at least I'm attempting a new space. The lighting is terrible for me in every part of my house, so please bear with me. On to today's topic, how to structure a novel. To begin with, every novel is structured the same way. If you compare, let's say, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald to The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, you'll see that they follow the same pattern. As a matter of fact, a picture book follows the same structure. And this pattern is actually what readers look forward to. The structure keeps a reader engaged, keeps them guessing, surprises them, and gives them a resolution. So, what is this structure? 1. Have a strong hook and opening scene. Always start with a strong opening and hook. This is how to gain attention on your novel, and hopefully your readers will stay engaged through to the end. Honestly, it's the same thing that scriptwriters and content creators do with their scripting. What does this look like? The hero may ask where Dad is going with his axe. We learn about the latest gossip in town. All children but one grow up. In these instances, your reader is wondering, what's happening? And they want to know more, so they keep reading. 2. Insert an inciting incident. An inciting incident or catalyst is an event that changes the direction of the story. It takes the main character out of their comfort zone, which is the beginning of your story, into a new world, either metaphorically or literally. The inciting incident is the beginning of a challenge for your character. They are challenged to change. And change is the hero's overall journey or lesson. And I made a video all about that here. Examples are, the hero moves to a new town. They meet the love interest. Loud, obnoxious rats come into a quiet town. The hero gets an acceptance letter to a magical school. 3. Include a series of events. The series of events that follow the inciting incident may be good ones or bad ones. The hero may be on an upward journey enjoying their new life, or they may be failing at every new thing they try and wishing to go back to their previous life. No matter what the events are, nor how the hero is doing, these events are lessons for the hero, and they all lead to the climax. For instance, the hero must take on roles and responsibilities of a young woman in 13th century England, even though she's only 14 years old and would rather not be doing mundane work nor discussing marriage proposals. The hero meets trolls, goblins, elves, and what have you for the first time after leaving his quiet little house. The hero falls down a rabbit hole and meets silly characters who have a backward way of doing things. 4. Give your hero a climax. Now, this may sound sexual, but I'm not referring to a romance novel. The climax is the point of no return for the hero. This is where all the tension from previous events reaches its highest point, literally on a plot diagram. The hero must face their flaw, and the conflict of the story gets resolved. It's only at this point that the hero learns their overall lesson. Examples may include, the hero defeats the villain. The hero and the heroine finally confess their love for one another and kiss. The main hero defeats the dragon and saves the princess. And 5, close with the end. This is not a literal the end, which you see as the finale of a children's book. Okay, sit down and read. Please? Please?
This one here.
This is the resolution. It's what happens to the hero after they finally accept the change that they needed to go through. The reader needs to know how the hero is doing and how they have been affected by all the events that have taken place in the novel. Everything comes to a close, all questions have been answered, and our hero has either changed for the better or worse. For example, the hero is actually unwell and struggling to reacclimate with their life back home, and they decide to end their journey. The main character passes all the candy trials and wins a chocolate factory. The antagonist is killed, and the heroes are crowned kings and queens of the land. In conclusion, every story is structured the same way. And it's this structure that keeps the reader engaged from the beginning to the end. This includes having a strong opening and a hook, including a series of events for the hero to experience, and resolving the story with an ending. As you come up with your story idea and novel, take into account these crucial points and have fun writing. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like more writing tips and tricks, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.